invite Carlo Giovannella, who is going to present smart alternation schemes and design practices during pandemics. Carlo, the floor is yours.
I'm going to share the screen. So today we are talking about smart alternation schemes and how this can be readapted during the pandemics. Schemes that include also design practice. And as I show you yesterday, this was made the situation during the pandemic time. So with the school that in 2020 just closed for at the complete lockdown for 2 months, and then reopen in September, October with different scheme, group shift, parallel blending learning, and sometimes also lockdown. In the same in the same period, what's of course in this condition, of course you cannot any longer have a company internship and even not laboratory activities. So you have to think in a different way. You have to redefine a little bit all the activities. And in particular, you can take also advantage of the diffusion of smart working, because of course, with lockdown, also the smart working was very popular. And this, from the point of view of students, can be considered an opportunity, because they have the opportunity to experiment a different way to work that, as we have heard this morning, will be also the future for the company. The company will not bring back completely, will not come back completely to the previous situation, because they realize that they can earn money in having a part of the work done in smart working. So this is a issue. You should train also the students since the high school or vocational school to be able to work in a smart situation. So basically, we have in this case, in this way, we can increase the student employability. As I said before, this implied a complete redesign of the process. So for from the present to the online venue. And this means that we have to redesign our simulation of innovation process, that of course include also the problem setting, and indeed was I mean, the duration of this alternation scheme was about 80 hours. That was divided in 30 hours to assign to the problem setting, 30 hours to the problem solving, and about 20 hours to the communication. And was addressed to let's say, solve general global goals or a problem that the student may meet in the school, or also social problems. Concerning the number of students, as we have discussed also last year, we adopted the massive schemes. That means that indeed, instead to have 5 or 10 selected students that can, for example, can go in an internship in the company, we take all the students together, 25 students per class. This year, so we experimented with the 4 classes, last year with the 2 classes. And of course, the venue this time was fully online. So we have to reorganize also the tool. And we decide to use the following tools. So we used Miro for collaborative brainstorming and graphic board. Miro, if you have not a license for the, let's say, for education, has some limitation. We have to experience also this limitation. Then we used the Meet to deliver theoretical pills for pitch presentation and also for brainstorming and revision. Since brainstorming should be done in different group, we were not allowed to have breaking rooms. So we have to have to create a multiple parallel room and to use Firefox, because it's the only browser that allows to mute all the different channel, all the different windows that you open. Of course, it was quite, let's say, resource consuming, but anyway, we managed with this. Then we used the G Suite, I mean the Google Suite and the Drive as content repository, with repository separated by groups. Then where they can upload draft, we can produce a revision diary, and they also can upload the deliverables, or they can use Google Forms to deliver forms, and also to prepare the pitch. Finally, we use the Google Classroom only as a dashboard. We use only the stream function, because inside the school they created a group at the school. They assign also the institutional email to the students. So putting the messages on the dashboard on the stream, we could reach immediately all the students. So you see that there is an integration of several tools actually. Finally, for the rapid prototyping, we use a Just-in-Mind or Figma. There are two of the possible available online environment that can be used for rapid prototyping. Unfortunately, since this June, they will be no longer for free. I mean, unfortunately, you can just write your graphic representation, but then you cannot extract any longer and the code. And so this is a pity. We should find another solution for the future. So just to give you an example of how you can manage to use these programs also with limitation, I show you a snapshot of the class dynamics that we realized with Miro. You see that we had only 3 boards, so we had to use just one graphic board for classes. And what we did, we separate the graphic board in 4 groups. So we make them work together. And this has also some advantages. Because, for example, apart from the fact that they can continue to use the program also behind the allocated time, indeed, here we see a situation in which some students remain after the allocated time to continue the work. But it's very nice that you can follow the way in which they collaborate. And at the same time, you can see that there are some specific and particular dynamics that develop. Because, for example, a student fly on another and on the work on another group to get inspiration. And this, for example, in the standard classes, face-to-face classes cannot be done. So it's also, you can see that there are some advantages that can emerge from the activity that you bring on. Of course, you can develop a lot of skill, and this is another snapshot. This is not taken from what we have done at high school. This is a university project, but just to make you know that you can do whatever you like, benchmarking, personal cards. You can do, for example, concept map that became mood board. Then you can develop a Gantt. You can develop a look and feel here for the logo. Then you may have a storyboard, UML, the graphics, navigation, trees, and so on and so on. So you see that it's very powerful tool that can be used in all the phases of the design process. So this just to give you an idea of how the process has been organized and realized online. And here are some outcomes, because of course the quality of the process can be measured from the outcomes, and also from a survey that we conducted with the students. So first of all, I would like to show you some logos. And so you see that you consider that these are not students that develop any skill before in graphics. So this has been produced during the ongoing process. We suggest them some software, some approach to develop graphics, and slowly they produce these results. And on the bottom, you can see this is an example of cross-fertilization within the SLERD conference. Because if you remind, last year it was presented let's say dynamics logos and in one of the paper. Here, immediately after, 1 month after, we suggested the student to develop a dynamic logos. And so you see here that they were designing an application for bus stopping. And so you see that here, during the COVID time, they had the information about the filling up of the bus, how far the bus was, and of course the number of the bus that was incoming. So then you have here some example of look and feel that in this case has been developed as a navigation tree. This was an application to help people to perform correctly the differentiated garbage collection. And maybe, I don't know if I have enough time, so I just skip a video that has been realized from some students. And I will go to the outcomes of the survey. So you'll see that the student satisfaction was very, very high. The highest one with respect to all the other processes that we carried on during the previous year. So this demonstrates that you can perform alternation scheme and design process, innovation process online without any problem at all. With the full satisfaction in this case, of the students. They were very happy with the online organization. Maybe also because it was new for them. So maybe this year we got probably this year we got a slight lower achievement, because there is a fatiguing effect that start to be produced after 1 year and a half. But that time they were very, very, very clear and very happy with this online organization. And also they find very interesting as a orientation for their future. They believe that this process can be fully sustainable online. And also they were very, very happy with their time organization. So you see, these were on the scale of 0 to 10, and this was on a scale of -5. So basically, these are just a number, but then these are the competencies that they declared to have developed. So collaboration and teamwork was declared by 63% of the students that filled the surveys. And this is a different way to collaborate with respect to what they usually do in a school, because they were able to, let's say, assign different tasks to different people. So they declared that it was a completely different way. So you see also among the most chosen skill, you find decision making, flexibility, proactivity, and self-regulation. Basically, these are the motivation that has been satisfied: acquisition of ability and competencies, cultural background improvement, possibility to compare opinion, stimulus to creativity, and orientation for the future. This is not on the paper, but we would like also to mention that during this process, for the first time, we assigned blockchain anchored certificates to the students. And here you can see an example of the certificate and of the badge. And this is how the certificate appears in a validator. So this has been released on the 3rd of June. So you see they have the e-certification with the registration on blockchain, and they have also the QR code that can be used to validate the certificate. And the certificate has been released in fully compliance with, the suggestion by the European report about micro-credential we heard about this morning. So you see, these are all the metadata that are embedded in the PDF and that can be seen once that you validate the document. So you see, they have also the list of all the skills that they have developed, many other information about the process. So that's all. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Carlo, to be on time. We have time for a quick question. Monica is, yeah.
Yes, first a quick comment. I think it's very interesting to see how you also have a positive experience in translating these creative activities online. We have a couple of card-based design toolkit that we have moved online. It's incredible how independently we were expecting the contrary, but the student seems to be very, very positive. But when it comes to the question, I was thinking, how do students react to this certification? Do you think they add value, they care?
Yes, we asked in the previous year, we asked if they were interested in certification, and also we try to understand also if it can be recognized, for example, by companies. So if we can attach to certification and recognition by companies, this is a very difficult task, but also this can be an add-on with respect to certification. But they were very interested. We have to mention also that, of course, we do not certificate all the students because they have to pass a certification exam. So actually, we issued only 5% of certificated students. So we had 100 students. At the end, after the certification exam, only 5 students got the certification. And they were very happy for that, of course. And also the school were very happy because you consider that this is the first time in Italy in which any alternation scheme has been associated with the release of an e-certificate that can be validated and can be that is permanent for the whole life of the students.